If you haven't already, watch the video that we posted on Sunday about the importance of sharing your faith with the people around you. We're gonna talk with a few of our life group leaders here at Ignite Amplified and hear their advice for sharing their faith and also some stories that they have about times that they've shared their faith before. Take a look.
I think for a really long time I found sharing my faith really difficult because I didn't think that I knew enough to talk about it. I thought I set a standard for myself that I didn't know enough, so I couldn't speak on it.
I get in the headspace that like, I need to have every answer, I need to touch on every point, I need to be there for the whole process.
I think I just never really felt like I knew enough to answer people's questions. Like if they asked me something about the Old Testament, I was like, I don't know, but Jesus loves you. And so I just feel like I never felt like I was equipped enough to answer questions that they had if they were wondering things.
I mean, I think sharing your faith is really easy. Making the decision to actually share your faith is difficult. You know, once you're in those conversations, I feel like most of the time they're really positive, but it's the initial step to actually share your faith that's the difficult part.
I thought that I had to share it through Bible verses and being able to like recite what Jesus said, but it can look as simple as like loving somebody or doing an act of service.
My first time that I came to church, I didn't really grow up in the church, but I wanted everyone to come. I wanted all my friends to come, and I went up to one of my best friends at the time, and she's like, why would I ever do that? Like, why would I come, Nick? Why would you even ask me that? I was like, I'm sorry, it's forever caring about your life.
Have you ever invited someone and then they just like don't come? They say they're going to, and then they just don't show up. It's happened to me before.
I didn't really grow up in the faith. I didn't really grow up going to church or anything, so somebody had to share their faith with me and invite me to church for me to come. And so I'm here even today because somebody shared their faith with me.
I learned that it's about me meeting people where they are, not where I expect them to be, not where I want them to be. I only get to have a part in people's life. God has his big plan for people, and I get to play a part in that. I'm not directing that, and I need to make sure that I'm not trying to direct that.
I would say some advice for students is that it's okay to not know, because I felt really insecure about not knowing answers to whatever questions. They hadn't even been asked, and I already felt like I didn't know the answers. So just like to know that it's okay to not have the answers, and you can always text like Nick or Ashley and ask them, because even I do that. You know, like one of my small group girls comes to me, asks me a question, and I'm like, I've never actually thought about that. Let me go check with other people and then I'll get back to you. And I think that's like totally okay.
Don't overthink it. You know, I think more people than not are gonna be really positive when they talk to you. They want to talk about faith and God and stuff like that. So I think it's just us convincing ourselves that they don't, that is hard.
We are somebody that he picks to share the gospel. He can do it without us, but he chooses to have us involved in it. And so there's no error when it comes to it. He's never gonna look at you and be like, oh, that was a good try, but you failed. It's always gonna be like, you tried, and I'm so appreciative of that try.
I get this big idea that I have to do everything. And God says, I have this plan for somebody else's life, and you get to be a part of it, but it's not up to you to get every detail right.
There's nothing that you can do that he will ever look at you and be like, I'm so upset at you, or you're a disgrace. Like, those aren't words that'll come out of his mouth. That's not his character.
When you start to build a strong relationship with somebody, that's what opens the door to real conversations. And that's gonna go so much further than me preaching at somebody will ever do.